So I'm gonna give Deadpool 2 easy 9.5. I can even mess around and give it a 10. Now I could give it a 10 in the Deadpool world because it blew number 1 out of the water.
Really?
Personally,
do you feel that way?
I feel that number 1 was more of an establishment of this and this. 2 was, yo, I am me and this is who I am. And so I felt 2 was way more. I thought 2 was funnier. It was way more in your face. I think it was like, hey, I know that this thing works because you guys want it again. Yeah. And I'm here. And then, no spoilers, but staying to the Easter egg at the end. Yeah. That was hilarious. Yo, take a moment.
Multiple.
That was hilarious. And then take a moment and think. We're not giving y'all spoilers. Yeah. So think about this. In movie history, has any actor ever broken the fourth wall like that? Think about that. Even to the point to go back in time.
Off the top of my head, not in the same way, and not cross studios.
Exactly, right.
It was one thing to make fun of a Fox studio thing; it's another to step outside of Fox.
Yo, I'm completely, which is weird because Deadpool as a character breaks the fourth wall, which technically makes him a real person in our lives, right? Because if you're breaking this wall, then you're aware of me and I'm aware of you, even though you're not real, but you're written to be real. So if this is a thing, and you're breaking this wall, then you're real to a degree.
Which, that's Deadpool does that in the comics.
I love that.
There's a comic, Deadpool Kills Marvel. There's been I think there's a second one now. I only read the first one. Without giving anything of the main story away, it's pretty much exactly what it says it is. There's a scene at the end where he literally is outside of the comic books going after creators. Yeah. And it's great.
Exactly.
He is known for stepping out. I did not like it as much as the first one.
Explain.
For me, I part of it is just simply Deadpool 1 was so what it was that I didn't know 100% going into the first one if it would be as good as we wanted it to. Oh. It totally was.
Oh, it totally was.
I had a couple questions about 2. I would still put 2 at, I put the first one at 9.5. I put the second one at probably a 9. Okay. They're close, but I questioned the mutant caller working on Deadpool at all. Yeah. Because he himself is... And I guess maybe within their mutant movie world, they're saying he's been pushed to a point that he is a mutant. But from my understanding, Deadpool wasn't a mutant in a traditional sense.
I mean, to the degree of being almost like Wolverine. I mean, you've seen Wolverine be, I guess, have his powers subdued to a degree.
Well, and it's just
still have his powers.
Wolverine is a natural made mutant, whereas Deadpool was a science experiment.
Well, wasn't Wolverine a science experiment?
Wolverine was a science experiment in that, they grafted adamantium to him, but...
His healing factor was always there.
His healing factor was there. His claws were always there.
Yeah, the bone claws.
He just didn't remember for a very long period of time. And that was a small piece. I also I think Juggernaut should have stood straight up. I think they should have removed his helmet, and and Professor X somewhere else stopped him. They acknowledged that that's how it happened. You don't have to show me Professor X. But I don't believe that, he's stopping with being electrocuted up the ass. He's the unstoppable Juggernaut. He should have risen right out of that water.
But I mean...
I get that they have to create boundaries for that kind of a character within a movie.
Watch the movie again. Watch the movie again.
Well, you do... I will say you do at the very, you see him start to step at the end.
You can't...
I'm just
give him a smidge.
I'm just in that moment. When they're all standing there and the water's bubbling, he should have just risen right back.
You can't give him the full shot. You gotta play. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna make out just first. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that dress you're wearing. It's a nice dress. It's great. How was your day today? You know what I'm saying? You're just not going for the kill here.
They also did something at the end, and this is to the positive aspect, like what we were talking about earlier, without giving much away. That it's possible everything that he did. We don't know how much it affected the world they're going to continue.
Exactly.
They gave themselves the right to just Etch-a-Sketch everything they've done up to that.
So I want to shout out to Ryan Reynolds for being so vigilant, because I think...
And Deadpool.
Honestly, because it was because of him pushing hard. He's like, yo, I want this, I want this, I want this. I'll take a pay cut. I'll pay my own money. He stayed vigilant. Mm-hmm. And what it's done, and which I think is amazing, because Deadpool himself is a fourth wall breaker. And so basically Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. And you have Deadpool in IRL, basically, creating this movie, which, think about it, allows for a pipeline from Sony to get all of their stuff back into Marvel. Yeah. Take a moment and think about that. I don't know if Ryan, and I really believe
or
that
Fox.
Ryan, yeah, excuse me.
Fox.
Yeah,
no. I totally got what you're saying.
Because, I mean, think about it. What he's set up in those movies is the ability for any Fox or Sony situation that has those
100%.
To come through.
100%.
And so now you're thinking, wow, are they going to... And I just feel like it's such a smart move. Like, I feel like this was super calculated.
Does his time travel somehow, like, give him the ability to tie into... I doubt it, but it could give him the ability to tie in with
or Avengers the fact that he's even... in that movie was able to interact with the X-Men. So just opening that allows everything else to happen, which I thought was the smartest thing ever.
Well, and lastly, like, to give it credit, without it, we wouldn't have got the fantastic movie that Logan was. Without Deadpool being what it was, we would not have gotten the rated R, like, the R rating for Logan that it needed to make it the movie it was.
Because Wolverine Origins...
Without getting into that.
Garbage.
Terrible.
Dude, you talking about one of my favorite characters, and it was just like... I mean, now, nothing...
It's the worst thing you could do to that character.
Yo, it was the worst. And then that whole scene with Deadpool in that movie... That was the way he was like. Well, it was
you take a character whose nickname is the Merc with the mouth, and then you don't give him a mouth.
And you cover his mouth.
Yeah,
it's like no. Welcome to Burger King. Can I take your order? Yeah, you guys got Whoppers? No, we don't.
Anyway,
and you're like,
we do not. This is not what we do.
What? Shut this place down. But definitely, so
I have questions for you next time we get together about like. What makes what makes a great superhero movie, and what your idea of the... I won't ask you now, I've got those questions for you later, but, like... Deadpool, though, like, it's... For me, the difference between the first one and the second one, how good I like them is, end of the day, negligible. They're great movies, both of them.
It banged. No, definitely. I definitely think that Deadpool 2 not only exceeded expectations, but it also became the vehicle... to open up the universe. I think they're literally going to use Deadpool as the bridge to bring everything out. And he's a perfect bridge.
It would be great.
And that is feasible. And I'm like, you know what? It would be a smooth transition. You would crank out, because he was like, there's not going to be any more Deadpool movies. And he's like, what? And you're thinking, what? Oh, but look at all this other stuff that we have.
Yeah.
Now. You see what I'm saying? Just in that one scene of showing the X-Men, boom, you open the door to everything. To literally everything. So it was a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it, see it again. If you've already seen it again, get it on bootleg and give it to some friends who haven't seen it.
Look up some Easter eggs, because there's some great stuff that they pull from.
Exactly.
Character of Zeitgeist. There's a character named Black Tom.
Yo, it's so funny with Black Tom, dude.
Which is he's straight out of the comics.
Exactly.
Like straight.
You guys gotta watch this movie. The movie is great. Oh my goodness. Dude, this was great.
Yeah, it's
great energy and stuff. Got the room full of nerd smells. Smells like candy and wonder.
It feels a little warm in here because you can feel the systems heating up the room.
Right? Yeah, my blood is warm.